wanted to ask you, Ted, the physicality, we talked about it after the game on Saturday. Yeah. How do you fix that? How do you right that through practice and preparing for the next game, just improving that aspect of the game?
Well, again, it's something we focus on every week, and we fell short last week. But our approach each and every week is, to be a physical football team, to tackle well, limit the yardage after contact, and we didn't do that. We didn't do a very good job of that the other night. And again, everything that went wrong is my fault. I got to help everybody get it fixed. So, but that's what we got to do moving forward.
Yeah, Ted, we talked to DaShaun White. He mentioned the difficulty or just last Tuesday's practice not being what you guys needed it to be. When you look back, were there signs that maybe something was off going into Saturday?
On Tuesday, yeah, there were, but we picked it up on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and certainly if there were, we addressed it, and if we'd have thought that our guys weren't ready to play, we'd try to do something to address that. But after our meetings and practices, we felt like our guys were ready, and but obviously the results, for whatever reason, didn't reflect that.
Ted, you mentioned after the game some of the issues getting off the field on third down. Yeah. When you look back at the film, did you see any of the same thing through those third downs? And is that something how much can you work on that in practice?
We work on it a lot every week. It may not have looked like it last week, but we work on it a lot every single week with an emphasis on it because, that's a down that gets you off the field. And when you have opportunities to get off the field and don't, it came back to bite us the other night. And you look at the, like the scrambles, for instance, and things of that nature, the missed tackles, it comes back to bite you, and it did. So we got to get those fixed as well.
Ted, I want to ask you about DaShaun White and especially that position that he's playing. How do you feel like he's performing in the coverage aspect specifically, but also just overall the way that he's handling that spot?
I'm real proud and pleased with DaShaun. He made a couple plays on the deep ball the other night, and did a good job finishing. His versatility has been a nice thing for us, and again, I'm pleased with how he's done. We can all do better, and we're disappointed, but at the same time, we got to use that to motivate us and learn from it, and move forward.
Comfortable with the way that he's handling those coverage things,
yeah,
like the downfield stuff specifically.
Yes, I am. I am comfortable with that. Yes, yes, I am. Yep.
You mentioned the physicality up front. What was missing for you guys specifically that you'd had those previous weeks, and how do you build that back this week?
Well, excuse me, some of our fits were, instead of being like definitively inside a guy so that everybody else could trust a fit, sometimes we were working head up on blockers, which gave ball carriers two-way goes to the design-free player. Then it froze him at times. So just to be extremely precise and the precision that we have to do with that. I thought our guys played hard. Again, the precision and some of the tackling issues were obviously a problem. And then the third down things, where we had opportunities. As many things as that went wrong the other night, whether it was Kansas State doing something good or us making a mistake, we still had a chance at the end of the game to get a third down stop and give our offense the ball back and have a chance to win the game. And, we didn't do it.
Where are those fixes getting made this week? I'm sure it's a combination of some, but is that film room? Is that on the field?
It's a combination of everything. Yeah, you're right. There's just, there's no like one magic bullet that you just do that, like, it's a process you go through. Part of it is just a growing, learning process, and part of it is identifying it, which we certainly have, and then, drilling it to fix it, and that's the process.
Coach, more on the tackling. Some of the stuff in the open field looked like just bad angles coming to the ball carrier. Where does that get fixed? Is that a film thing, or is that practice field?
It's both. Again, to identify it, and we drill that every week because that is a big part of playing championship defensive football, and we drill that every week. And again, obviously, we came up short.
Your linebacking play, you know, you're playing this running quarterback and things. How well did you feel like they held up, and how well did you feel like they played? Your safety support, did you talk about how that works together and how well that came together?
It all works together. Getting back to the precision of the fits, as far as like where you fit on blockers, you know, so that people can take good angles to be aggressive, to attack, as opposed to, you know, getting down the middle of people where now the guy has to chop his feet because the trail player has to chop his feet or slow down because it's not defined. And again, the exactness of it, and that's something that again we fell short.
Against TCU, they'll run something similar to Dugan plays. You know, so you're going to run into some similar problems with a running quarterback this week, I would guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Their quarterback is he's certainly a big time running threat. He's very efficient, and you know, a lot of things show. If you don't take things off tape and correct them and fix them, they show up. They keep showing up. So we've got to make sure that we get those issues corrected and fixed. So moving forward, when teams do that against us, we execute better and coach better and all the things that we all do it together. Yeah.
How do you find balance and not overreacting to what was out there on Saturday? Because there has been a lot of positive through the first 3 weeks.
You know, I don't doubt our players' commitment or want to or whatever. That's happened, and it's unfortunate, and it's just very disappointing. But at the same time, if we dwell on that and, you know, walk around, that doesn't help us get it fixed. So we certainly identified it, corrected it, and now we've got to drill it and move forward with it. And thank goodness we got another opportunity to do that. And, you know, it grinds at you, but we got to use that to motivate us. Yeah. Good question.
Could you get into TCU a little bit more and what you see? They
Sure.
usually have
I'm
great
ready to
speed
talk
on the
about it. Yeah,
inside.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, talk about their offense and what you're running into. So.
Certainly a high-powered offense that's averaging, I think, 46 points and over 500 yards a game. It's got tempo, incredible speed, and athleticism. You know, they've been hitting a lot of big plays. And, again, the quarterback's a running threat. He's very efficient with what he does throwing the ball as well. And then all the different formations that the spread tempo teams give you. So from an adjustment standpoint, something that we've got to be on point with. And, again, getting the issues fixed from last week. Yeah. But it's certainly a challenge, a different type of challenge. But it's certainly a challenge. Yeah.
Not just the quarterback for TCU, but their skill position players, wide receivers. What kind of test is that for the cornerback room?
Well, it's a big test. You know, they're averaging over 8 yards a play. That's 8 yards a play, so they're almost averaging a first down every play. But the speed and the athleticism, I mean, number one came in here and had a good game against us last year. So we've got to do a good job with that. You look at the running backs making big plays. So it's all it's a lot of it is space issues. You know, being able to be efficient in space and execute in space and tackle in space. And you know, we've got to do a great job of that in order to win the football game. To eliminate some of their explosive plays, because the explosive plays in football usually come on perimeter. Not all the time, but the majority of them do. They get to the perimeter where all the grass is and all the space is being created. And, you know, as an offensive player, space is your friend. As a defensive player, space is your enemy. So we've got to eliminate that space.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.